Good evening. Very good. Very good. Would you please stand up? If you want to fail, not only in this class, but in the semester and the program in your life, you want to be a failure, wave at me. Nobody waving. If you want to succeed, have a seat. Very good, you are standing also. So everybody wants to succeed. Today we are fortunate enough to have my dear friend Dick Martin to speak with us about real success. Not only success, but real success. Any difference? We'll see. Now, my friend is a financial advisor by training for many years, and I found him more than a financial advisor. He is an advisor for lots of things, not only in financial things. You can ask him about finances as well, but I found in him a deep thinker. That's why he is here, because our class is about thinking right. And he is a deep thinker and have a big heart as well. So he's not just thinking with mind, but also have heart understanding. He's a man of understanding. And one of our goals for this class, as I told you day one, that you become more and more a man of understanding or a woman of understanding. Because without understanding, we lose our humanity, we lose everything. Right? Say hi. Very good. Now, would you please give a warm welcome to our guest speaker?
Thank you for that warm introduction. I don't really think I deserve that. As far as being a deep thinker, I've never thought of myself as being a deep thinker. I do like to ponder over things, and I, have given a lot of thought to a number of subjects over the years.
Usually we don't see our faces. We don't see our faces, but we see other people's faces. So we see your face more than you see yours. So you are a thinker.
At any rate, as Dr. Wahby mentioned, by trade I'm a financial advisor. I worked for First Middle Bank and Trust for the last 18 years before I retired 2 years ago. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about this evening, although at the end of our discussion, if you had some specific questions that perhaps I can answer regarding that, I'd be happy to. But we're talking about the subject of success. Now, you all came to the university to get an education, obviously. And the reason you came to get an education is so you could get a good job, right? And so you could be successful. But we're going to talk about what it is that really makes true success. And to kind of get us started, I came across a picture in a restaurant here in town. And most of you, well, I shouldn't say most of you, many of you have probably seen it. I'm not going to tell you where it is because I'm going to read it to you and then you tell me if you've seen this. It's in a local restaurant, it's in a framed picture, and it ties in perfectly for our discussion this evening. So let me see if here we go. Get it where I can read it. It's a poem. It goes like this. It says, you can use most any measure when you're speaking of success. You can measure it in a fancy home, expensive car, or dress. But the measure of your real success is the one you cannot spend. It's the way your kids describe you when they're talking to a friend. Now there's a lot of good information in that, isn't it? Because what we're talking about here is, again, what is real success? Well, let's take it from this standpoint. What could be worse than failure? Now we think of success, the opposite of success, failure. What could be worse than failure? Well, the answer to that is false success. Let's think about that a minute. False success. After all, when you fail at something, you usually realize why you failed. You can take steps to correct maybe what the problem was. You can learn from the experience. And you hopefully will keep it from happening again. Okay? But false success is different because under its influence, you think you are winning when in reality you're losing. So you think you're doing well, but in reality you're not. By the time you see the need to change, it might be too late. Consider an example. Ask yourself, what good would it do a person if they gain the whole world but lose their life? In other words, you accumulate all kinds of stuff, fame and fortune, wealth, all that stuff. But you die quick. You die early. Not much value to that, is there? Okay? And the thought could well apply to those who dedicate themselves to the pursuit of money and all that it can buy, the epitome of false success. Now, let me preface this discussion first of all. We're not saying that making money is bad. Not at all. That's not the point. We need to make money. The idea is the love of the money. It's the drive to make money at the cost of anything. The cost of stepping on other people, the cost of maybe your health, your family life, and these things. So having money, we need money to live. We have to have that. So there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money. But what's wrong, or we believe that it is the pursuit of that at all expense. In other words, if that's the end all, be all. A career counselor by the name of Tom Denham said this, and I'd like to quote him. He says, thinking only in terms of the next major promotion, making more money or acquiring more stuff, fails to feed the soul. He went on to say, simply measuring success in monetary terms is shallow and will leave you empty in the long run. Okay? And we've seen a lot of people over in history. We've read about it in our studies, and a lot of people that have been fabulously wealthy, and they end up committing suicide, or they have depression, or they have no friends whatsoever. So, there's lots of examples like that. And evidently, many people would agree, because in a survey that was conducted in the United States, having a lot of money came in 20th out of 22 factors or contributors to a successful life. That's almost at the very bottom. And yet, closer to the top were things like good health, good relationships, and a job that you really love, that you enjoy coming to work. Not only because of the money you make, but because maybe it helps other people. You like it. It's something you really can get into and really enjoy. And clearly many people can distinguish, at least mentally, between false success and true success. But it's a lot harder to do it. In other words, thinking about it, saying, yeah, I understand that. That's one thing. But it's more challenging to make decisions that will reveal the proper view of real success. So what we're going to do right now, already we're going to take just a real brief pause. And Dr. Wahby is going to pass out a piece of paper. Okay? On this piece of paper, there are 4 scenarios. There's 4 people. There's Santosh, Tim, Anusha, and Rachel. Okay? 4 different ones. And each one of them is got a little scenario there. And what you're to do is just take a couple of minutes and answer which of these 4, or all of them, or 2 of them, whatever, of these 4, who are really successful and why. Now, you're not graded on this. This is just for your own benefit and for our discussion. So just take a few minutes, and when you're done, just look up, and then I'll know when the majority's done, and we'll continue on with our discussion then. So just say who is truly successful and why, just briefly.